The long-awaited Star Wars series, The Acolyte, is coming out today on Disney+, and early reviewers are saying that Episode 3 is a Last Jedi moment for the entire franchise. Let's talk about whether Star Wars, which we thought was dead, is now even deader than dead on That Park Place. Hello, I am Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, and here with me is my friend from Kashyyyk. He's my Wookiee co-pilot, Mr. VashSky. Vash, happy Life Day to you, sir.
Well, happy Life Day to you. Isn't that in December? I don't know.
It's in November. Vash.
Oh, okay.
It's in November. It's a holiday special, and therefore they drop it at Thanksgiving, obviously.
That's a fair point right there. But bright suns to you, sir. Looks like we're going to be talking about The Acolyte, which should be making its debut very soon, actually.
Yep, I believe 9 p.m. Eastern today. By the way, over there on StarWars.com, they're talking about this one right here. This lady right here created the Acolyte in 2019 and then brought it to Kathleen Kennedy. And even though there was a mysterious hiring freeze, I don't say it was mysterious. What was mysterious is that this show was bought and greenlit during the 2019 hiring freeze at Disney. Why this person in particular somehow got through, we don't know if it's Kathleen Kennedy. We don't know if it's maybe the fact that she's very well connected in Hollywood. By well connected, I mean that she witnessed many things while she worked for the Mr. Harvey Weinstein there. And maybe she knows why everyone would be motivated to help this particular person, this particular woman, to be the first female creator of a Star Wars series ever. But
now,
we can
Jonas, come on now. That I think that's an unfair characterization right there. I think her pitch of Frozen meets Kill Bill was just that good. Come on.
What about Shaw Brothers meets Pride and Prejudice?
Fair point. That's not bad.
Yeah, well, you know, we did have a Pride and Prejudice and Zombies not that long ago. I've never read that one, but I did read Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, and I can understand why that one got made into a movie. What we want to talk about today is The Acolyte, and several sources have reached out to That Park Place, and also we've been paying attention to some of the people who have already watched The Acolyte online, and those people are bound by NDAs, which they have not violated as far as I am aware. There's a lot of interesting commentary. I'm hearing the first 2 episodes, especially the first 30 minutes of the first episode. Everybody is going to say, hey, this isn't that bad. That's a perfectly reasonable reaction. Generally speaking, I give almost any TV series at least 4 episodes before I start to make any judgments, because you got to introduce your characters. You got to set the universe here. You got to find out why this guy, John Dorian, is working at this Sacred Heart Hospital here. That's a completely different kind of series, of course. Or maybe why this Michael Scott guy is still a boss, even though he appears to be incompetent. In a Star Wars series, you got to find out, first of all, is this actually Star Wars? And second of all, you got to find out, is this actually Star Wars? Okay, maybe I should just get to it so we can talk about it. What I have heard from multiple sources is that Episode 3 of The Acolyte is going to, first of all, wipe out anything that we have heard about the first 2 episodes of The Acolyte, which are probably both dropping today. I think it's going to be another one of those ones where Disney tries really hard to boost the Nielsen ratings, which go by minutes watched instead of how many people tuned in per episode. So those first 2 episodes are going to make you go, maybe this isn't going to be that bad. And Episode 3, I'm hearing it will break the series. It will be a Jake Skywalker moment for the entire Star Wars franchise. As they say, when you talk about radioactive things, that there's a half-life, there's a certain moment at which the half-life happens and it's half as potent as it once was. And then again, it'll have another half-life cycle, and it'll be half as potent as that once was, so a quarter of what it once was before. I am hearing there's something that happens in this show, and I don't know what it is, except I'll reveal a little bit more here from rumors and speculations and sources. I don't know exactly what it is, but it sounds like the Force literally is female. Did you know that?
Well, I had heard that was the case. Especially, I've seen some T-shirts with maybe going into that just a little bit, but look, no surprise, right? We've heard from Leslie Headland herself that she's a big fan of Rian Johnson. Oh, she just looks up to him and thought the world of him, and didn't necessarily comment on The Last Jedi per se, but you knew it was kind of going that direction. We heard interviews and we read stories about her wanting to take this story in this part of the timeline because she wanted that freedom to do what she wanted. And whenever I hear stuff like that, always kind of a bad sign, because who's to necessarily stop these creators from taking these series and really putting their own kind of spin on it, which I guess we did hear that as well, and now it looks to all but be confirmed. We'll have to see for the episode ourselves, but my goodness, I mean, if there's a Last Jedi moment here, this franchise will have died painfully.
Right. And just for those of you who may be wondering what I'm saying by saying that the Force is female, no, I'm not talking about a slogan. I'm not saying that all Force users are female. I'm not necessarily saying that women have a stronger connection to the Force. What I'm hearing is that there is a literal personification of the Force that appears in this series, most likely an extension of the Mortis gods from the Clone Wars series, that is female and will have some kind of sway in this series right now, because they don't say the words Night Sisters in this, but there is a coven of witches, which sounds to me like a preceder of the Night Sisters, like we saw in Ahsoka and of course Clone Wars and Rebels or whatever. They all kind of start to run together after a little while here, but it sounds like the literal, maybe the mother, but it is some kind of personification of the Force, and that character is a lady. I don't know if she's good looking. I don't know if she's up for a date or whatever here. The father, the brother, and the sister, we knew who they were, and statues of some of them appeared in Ahsoka. But here we are. Vash, what do you think about the Force being a lady?
Oh boy. Look, we have had personifications, I guess, of the Force and visions and so forth, right? You referenced that Clone Wars, the infamous Clone Wars episode, which referenced the son to daughter and all of that. We've seen representations of this kind of stuff before, and the Force gets kind of weird, but yeah, the Force being female, I mean that I guess it's poetic at this point. And look, I don't really understand it, Jonas. This was, I mean, look, we're going to get heat. We're going to get pushback. I get it. I understand. But this was a franchise that typically appealed to boys in the past. It was kind of made to appeal to little boys. And so, and honestly, that was a lot of the value from what Disney saw when they actually acquired this property along with the rest of Lucasfilm. And so trying to change this and trying to skew this, not just to include females, but almost exclusively females, I think is a bad turn of events, and that's really
if this is a move that diminishes masculinity, or intentionally to diminish masculinity. We're also hearing, by the way, that there's some kind of pronoun moment here in the first 4 episodes as well. By the way, I need to throw this in there here for those of you who are not aware. This is rumors and speculations. Things could change. We heard that the Book of Boba Fett was not completed by the time it started airing on Disney Plus, and they struggled very quickly to get new scenes put into the end of Book of Boba Fett. So these are things that are still in motion here. So rumors and speculation, grain of salt, as we often like to jokingly refer to Galadriel as things that have not yet come to pass. But as we're hearing it now, this is also the introduction of pronouns to the Star Wars galaxy, or because there's multiple galaxies now, if you didn't catch Ahsoka. So.
We know there's an intimacy coordinator. We know that the actors have said some choice things in the interviews, particularly about one Anakin Skywalker blowing up the Death Star.
Yeah, Anakin just killed a whole Death Star. What are we going to talk about that?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, it just shows you that the creators involved in this, and I'm not saying that the actors necessarily have to have every single piece of canon in their minds when they're actually doing shows like this, but when you're getting basic stuff wrong on an actor standpoint, and then when you take that into the wider equation, when you bring the actual creators involved into the show, and you hear Leslie Edlund's like, hey, what's your favorite Star Wars movie? And it's like, I don't have one. Again, red flags, bad signs.
At the very least, at the very least, press people need to be preparing them for getting a question like that. You could say sometimes it's this one, sometimes it's that one, but really it's the whole thing. Okay, there's a better. You need to back up that answer. I remember when Ava DuVernay was talking about doing the New Gods film for DC, which was totally going to happen, folks. She was asked, which one is your favorite of the Jack Kirby comics? And she said, I mean, it's Jack Kirby, all of them. Okay, sure. But that being said, I think I'm interested to see what happens with the Acolyte. I plan on watching it. I don't know exactly what's going to go on with the fans' reaction to it. It could be good. It could be good. It could be awful. I don't know. Let us know what you think it's going to be, or if you've already seen it, let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Of course, like this video if you if you like this video, and consider subscribing to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.